what should the Celtics be looking for in their next head coach?
Wow. Well, first of all, I just got to say, Brad Stevens must love him some pro basketball because he turned down a lot of money to go back to college, right? And now he's going to move up to the front office. It's interesting. He's clearly got the mind for it. He's got an eye for that. And I think his shelf life ran out with this team. That's the way it is with an NBA head coach. And he even said it. He looked a little bit burnt out to me by the time this ran its course. So what do they need? For me, I'd like to see, somebody with a little bit more emotion. I think they need somebody a little bit more demonstrative. I think when you have a head coach that's that laid back, when you have your two-star players that are that laid back, at some point there has to be some emotion there, and it can't necessarily always come from Marcus Smart. It needs to come from your coach, your best players. So somebody with a little bit more fire in the belly, I think, on the sideline. And then also, I think somebody that offensively can get more ball movement with this team. Because I just think watching Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown play, making tough shot after tough shot, possession after possession, it's just not a winning, sustainable formula when you have to run through 3 rounds and fulfill your goal of getting to the finals or winning the NBA championship. So somebody that's got a little bit more creativity, I think, offensively with how they utilize guys off the ball. Player movement, ball reversals. Make the game a little bit easier for Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. So I think somebody that's got an eye for that as well could be a help. But Brad Stevens is a brilliant guy. I just think it ran its course, and he knew it.
A little more gusto ain't never hurt nobody. Now, rest of the Eastern Conference semifinals are now officially set. Who do you like out of the East, Tim, and why is it the Hawks?
Look, yeah.
Yes, why?
I'm glad you didn't lead me in any direction there. Look, I love me some Atlanta Hawks, but come on. I mean, with what Brooklyn put together, it's almost not fair to watch those guys play offensively. In my opinion, this is the greatest trio offensively that this league has ever seen, because there's never been 3 guys that can beat you in every dimension offensively the way that these are 3 of the best offensive players this league has ever seen, and they're all on the same team. It's just too much. You can slow them down in spurts. Eventually they're going to hit you with a run because there is no real answer for any of them. Nobody's got the personnel, enough personnel to guard them. Nobody's got enough scheme for what you have, all of the bases you have to cover with the 3 different ways that those guys can all beat you. So for me, it's clearly the Nets. I think barring an injury, I'm going to be very surprised if at the end of this journey, the Brooklyn Nets are not NBA champions.
Yeah, you talked about scheme, you talked about plan. Let's go to the Western Conference now. Remember when the Clippers were maybe losing games to maybe avoid a certain matchup in the playoffs, and now they find themselves down in a series against Dallas, and now they have a Luka Doncic problem? How can, you know that old saying, you can't necessarily stop someone, you can only hope to contain them? How can the Clippers do that the rest of the way?
You know, right now, his physical strength is what's controlling the series. Right? That's what it is for Luka. Because you look at him and you say, okay, he's not going to blow by. He's not blazing quick. He doesn't have, like, a lot of muscle definition. But he is strong as an ox. And his IQ and his anticipation and what he wants you to do and his ability to control you with his eyes to make you react, knowing he wants to go in a different direction, is controlling this series. And for me, it's different ways he can beat you offensively. Obviously, he can beat you as a deep shooter, if that's what it requires in the moment. He can beat you as a guy that runs pick and roll and finds bigs on dives, lobs, pocket passes. So he can beat you in the paint if you stay extended on the shooters. Couple of those go down, what happens? Guys start pinching off the corners to take care of the lobs and the little stuff in the lane. Now it's laser passes to the corners to shooters there. And then finally, that last dimension, he's added. He can dominate a game by backing you into the post. And I've seen him do it to guys like Kawhi Leonard, Paul George. These are elite-level, all-league defensive caliber players, and he's going wherever he wants to go. Luka Doncic, LeBron James, James Harden, those 3 guys in a league of their own in terms of controlling an NBA game offensively. That's what Luka is doing in this series. It's really been a masterpiece and a beautiful thing to watch against a team that's supposed to be this good defensively. He doesn't seem fazed by it at all.
Well, we will see what happens in Game 6 as the Mavs lead that one. Thanks so much for being here, Lex.
Thank you. Good to be here.
It was great having you.
We need to wear suits next time, Trev.
Do it. Can't do it.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.